So in this video, I'll be talking all about docs, how you can generate them using shortcuts, how you can edit and manage them, and then also how you can save them to your BizPack. So on the docs page, you'll see a summary of all of the docs that have been created in your Biz project. Anything that's been tagged as content will only show up in this tab here called content. So we had some SEO articles written by one of our shortcuts earlier, so that's going to show up under content, but most of the docs that you're creating will show up here. I'm going to start with the most common way to create a doc, which is probably going to be from your roadmap and using a shortcut. So anytime you use a shortcut, as you probably know by now, you will also be generating a new doc. So let's try it out with this developer pricing strategy, and let's use a doc to think through and flesh out our pricing strategy. So I'm going to use the shortcut just to help me get started fleshing out an outline for this vintage gems pricing strategy. So it's generated a doc for me, it's outlined some of the key components and given an initial pricing framework based on the clothing item. So that's quite handy, that's a nice start for us. In an individual doc, you can edit using this Notion style editor, which is based on blocks. So if you create a new line, you'll have the option to add new blocks in the form of a heading. So large heading. You can then edit all the different heading styles here. You can create lists, checklists, and code blocks. And the quickest way to actually access that list of the blocks that you can create is to just type /, then you'll see the options for the types of blocks that you can create in the doc. But the main thing to note about docs is that every doc has access to this assistant. So every biz project has its own personalized AI assistant that's kind of like ChatGPT, except it knows everything that has been saved about your business, and it also knows everything that is on the current doc page. So if we were to ask it a question about anything on the page right now, it will have access to that information as well. So for example, if I wanted to ask a follow-up question based on this initial outline, such as I just type my message, click ask, and my assistant will start working on that and get me my response soon. So it's giving me a small table of brands with an average price. If I'd like to add that to my doc, I can do so here. And Bizway is going to pick up that this is a table and should be formatted as such in my actual document here. So in general, while you're working on your doc, it's a good idea to just open up the Assistant tab so that you can ask questions, follow up, and flesh out further ideas while you're working on a specific doc page. To edit the title of a doc, you can do so up here. So I might just call this my pricing strategy doc, and I can also edit the category that this document belongs in. In this case, we can keep it in financials. Now that I've created my pricing strategy doc, if I wanted Bizway to know that information about my biz and include it in all of my questions to my assistant, all of my roadmap recommendations, I can just check this box here and you'll see that my BizPack is currently being updated with the new information in that doc. And once that's saved, now everything that I ask and do in Bizway is going to have this pricing strategy information saved to the BizPack. So just to recap, the most common way that you'll create a doc is probably by using a shortcut. After you've created a doc and you would like to edit, you can use this / to access the editing menu. And to follow up on any specific questions or get further help, you can open up the Assistant tab and start chatting with your assistant and your doc here.